So with the 50% for the SBA, I told you that it is just half of this one. It's just half of this. So we just stated that if G3, that is this cell, if G3 is empty, then the cell should be empty. Else, it should give us half of G3. I hope that's okay. So this is the half, and then the next one to the same formula but different cell. So we say if F3 is empty, then the cell should be empty. Else, it should give us half of the F3. That is 50% of the F3. So the 50% of the classwork and 50% of examination, that will give us the total classwork. So if that is understandable, I want somebody to help me with the total, the formula for the total. Can someone help me, please? The formula for the total. The formula for the total. Are you there?
I think that one we can use H1 plus and then I1. So it's equal to H1 plus I1.
It starts from H3, so be careful. H3. You're supposed to start from H3. Are we together? So look at it.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
Because we want the cell to
H3.
We want the cell to be empty, so we will say that we say if the sum, okay, if the sum of this and this 50% is 0, then it should be empty. Else, it should give us the sum. Oh, sorry. It should give us the sum of this and this. So we are just finding the sum of these two cells. I hope that's okay.
Okay.
So that is that. So for this side, I'm just going to do the autofill. You just double click, get the autofill. When you mouse over this active cell to the left bottom corner, it turns to small plus, then you double click. When you double click, it gives you the autofill. So I'll do the same for this cell too. I just keep these figures in so that we be sure that our formulas are working properly. I hope that's okay. So what I'll do is that I'll deactivate the headers so that I'll have a neat work. Okay, I think that's okay. So we have our total. So the next thing that we will look at is
okay.
The next thing that we'll look at is our grade. Our grade.
It's okay.
Yes, but let me show you something. Just hold on for me a little. I want us to be fast, so I'll just copy something and interpret it.
Okay.
School SBA. Just want us to be Can you see my?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's read like let's begin. The video. Okay. I want to interpret a formula in. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Can you see the Word document? Or you can still see the Excel?
Yeah, it's only there, so.
Okay, so I'm going to take you to another screen so that okay. So let's look at this screen. Okay. Okay. Please, can you see this? I'm going to break it into an understandable form so that
Okay.
I'll be able to interpret it appropriately. Okay. So the first part, we'll talk about keeping the cell empty. Okay, that is the first part. Now, our grading system is that when the person gets up to 100 up to 80, it should be 1. Is that not it?
Yeah.
So I will say that fine. If the cell contains values between 100 from 100 and 80, because we have restricted our examination to be 100, I think we don't have any. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, so the first part is just to keep the cell empty.
Okay.
All right. So the second part says that if the cell J3 that contains the total of the SBA class and then examination 50%, that is 100%. So that is J3. So if it has figures between, if a cell has a figure between 100 or from 100 to 80, it should say that the person's grade is 1.
Okay.
Okay, so the one here, we assume it to be a label or a text. So we put it in double quote. If you want a formula to run or a function to run to give you a result that is a text, you put the text in a quote. Are we together? All right, so the next one says that if J3 is greater or equal to 70, that means that from 70 to 79.9 should give us what? 2. That is our grading system for BEC. So it continues like that. It continues. I'm just breaking it down so that you appreciate it better. Okay?
Okay.
So that is what we are going to, that is the formula we are going to use for the grading. It's that simple. We say the first part is just to keep the cell empty when there is nothing in it. So we say if J3 is less or equal to or greater or equal to 80, it should give us 1. If it is greater or equal to 70, it should give us 2. If it is greater or equal to 65, it should give us 3. If it is greater or equal to 60, it should give us 4. Like that. Then we separate it with a comma. I hope you appreciate that. We separate it with comma. Then the last part, look at the last part. Before the last part, we have if J3 is less or equal to 35, then it should give us 8. Are you okay with that?
Okay.
8. Now, the last part says if it is less or equal to 35, it should give us 9. That means that from 0 to all these ones, we were taking it from the top, from the bigger to the smallest.
Okay.
So this one says from 0 up to 35, because 35 is the limit here. So we are saying, okay, from 0 or anything less than 35, it should give us that it is grade 9.
Okay.
Are we okay with that?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, then we will be able to close. Look at, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the last one that will close it, 10. Are we okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so that is that. I hope I've explained the formula very well. So let's go back to our Excel screen. Let's go back to our Excel screen. Are we back to our Excel screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to enter the formula. It's saying that if F3, if J3 is empty, then the cell should be empty. Then we bring comma. If J3 is greater or equal to 80, it should say that aggregate 1 or grade 1. If it is greater or equal to 70, it should say grade 2. If it is greater or equal to 65, say grade 3, comma. If it is greater or equal to 60, say grade 4. If it is greater or equal to 55, say grade 5. If it is greater or equal to 50, say grade 6. If it is greater or equal to 40, say grade 7. If it is greater or equal to 35, say grade 8. Then the last part is saying that if it is less than 35, you should say grade 9. Then we close our function with because we are using if you just count the number of if, that way how they close the bracket, we close it with the bracket or the parenthesis. Okay, so that is that. So I have grade 3 because it is 65, so we see that it is working. So let's run the autofill. I said that the autofill, when you enter for the first formula or the first function in the cell, you mouse over the active cell to the left, to the right bottom corner of the cell. When it turns into small plus, then you double click. It performs the autofill for you. Are we okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's try and put some figures, some marks into it and see how it works. So this place is 23. I'll say 32. Then here I'll say 21. Then examination, maybe he's called 89. Okay, so it's working. It's working, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the next thing I want us to do, look at the grid. Look at the grid. I prefer it to be centered. I want the grid to be centered. When we finish everything, we'll do the alignment, but I just want it to be more presentable. I'll choose the alignment. Okay, so my grid is centered. We talked about how to adjust and align cells and then align data in the cells. So let's do with the remarks. Let's do with the remarks. Any question concerning the grades? Because I've explained the formula and I hope you appreciate it. If there is no question about the let's look at the formula for let's look at the formula for our remarks, okay? Maybe when the child gets 9, we want a remark. When the child gets any mark, we want the remark to show. So we already have the marks for the grading already. So I told you that for the opening part, it's just to keep the cell empty. So the same thing we did, the same thing we did for the grade, that is almost the same thing that we're going to do for so we said that if the cell J3 is empty, then it should be empty. That is the opening part. Then the second part says that if J3 is greater or equal to 80, then it should say highest, or we say excellent. Then the next one says that if J3 is greater or equal to 70, then it should tell us it is higher. We are using the criteria prescribed by WAEC for the BEC certificate. That's what we're using. So if J3 is greater or equal to 65, then it should say high. If J3 is greater or equal to 60, it should say high average. If J3 is equal to 55, say average. Say average. If J3 is 50, greater or equal to 50, you should say low average. Low average. And the next one, we said that if J3 is greater or equal to 40, you should say low. Look at where we place the double quotes and then the commas to separate the formulas. Okay, so the next one says that if J3 is greater or equal to 35, then you should say lower. Then the last part, as we already discussed, we're taking it from 0 to 35 because 35 has been prescribed here already. I mean, described here already for lower. So we say if it is from 0 to, so anything less than 35, it should tell us that it is the lowest. It is the lowest. So that is that for the formula for the remark column. The formula for the remark column. So we are just going to look at the remarks carefully. Okay, that is the formula for the remark column. So because we have explained it already, I'm just going to put it down there so that you appreciate it. So we say if J3 is empty, then it should be empty. If J3 is 80, it should say it's the highest. If J3 is 70, then we say higher. If J3 is greater or equal to 65, it should say high. If J3 is greater or equal to 60, it should say high average, like that. So the last one, we say that if J3 is 35, is less than 35, we should say lowest. So that is that. So the remarks column to do the autofill, and then that's it. I can just center it for purpose of presentation. Okay. So that is that. The next thing we'll look at is the subject position. Subject position. Subject position. So let's look at how the subject position can be calculated. This is quite interesting. So please pay very careful attention. So the first thing we'll do is to rank first. So we are going to rank first. I will explain the ranking. I will explain the rank. Hello? Richard, are you there? Okay. Can you see my screen? I'm going to rank. What am I ranking? I have to rank the total, this total. I have to rank it in how let's say descending order from the highest to the lowest. From the highest to the lowest. So let's look at it. I'll write the formula and then I'll explain it. Now we are ranking J. So we take the cell J and then give the range for which we are going to rank. So look at the formula closely. Which cell are we ranking? We are ranking J, but look at it. We are ranking, and the ranking starts from J3. So rank from J3. So from J3 to what? J32. J3 to J32. So the first, okay, let me just start all over. So equal to rank rank what? We are going to call our first. So we want to rank for the number. From there will give us the range. So this is the range. Then we'll talk about the order, say in descending order. in descending, but that's not all. We have to be specific about the cells that we want to run. So when you perform the autofill, so because there are no values in it, that's why it's not ranked yet. But when you put, let me just, that's one of the reasons why I didn't do it in our main sheet. I'll just bring a part here. I hope we are together. Okay, so let's go on. I was saying that because there are no values in it, that's why you see yes. So if you put the values in it, it will start working. Is that all? No. We need to do another thing. So I'm going to take you, this is just a trick that we use to the ranking is supposed to be hello. The ranking is supposed to be in this form: first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So when we were doing this, I told you that you can put you can put a text in quotes so that when the formula runs, if it is a value or if it is a text or a label, it will show in the cell for you. So that's how come we have lowest, highest, and all the remarks here. We can do the same for position. So we're saying that, let me just type it in there so that you see. We are saying that if O3, this, if O3 is 1, then it should say 1 and ST, that is first. If O3 is 2, then it should say the value in the cell and ND. If it is 3, you say the value in the cell and RD. If it is 21, you should say the value in the cell 21 and ST, that is 21st. If it is 22, you should say the value in the cell, that is 22 and ND. So anything other than that, it should say that value in the cell and TH. So we are doing it for only 30 people. If it is for more, we'll add this part to it and say we'll add this part to it and say that if it is 33, 32, if it is 31, it should say 31 and ST. If it is 32, say 32 and ND. If it is 33, say 33 and RD. Other than that, you should say TH with the value in it. So let's see how it works. So this is our second. Let's just do the autofill and see. Okay. And somebody help us with the reason why these values are showing here. Let's see if we can work around it. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so J11, J11. See, okay. Let's see. We're saying that should be empty, else it should run. So let's see if that takes away our error. Good. And it seems to be working. So you see the essence of the if. If our total is empty, then it should be empty. Else, so we're gonna add. Okay. Good. So we got it. So that is how it works. If you want to do away with those errors and all that, I think that is the best way to do it. I hope we appreciate this lesson. That is how far we have come today. So with that, you can just highlight and hide yourselves. Hide. Okay. So that is that. We have formulas in all the cells. Isn't it beautiful? So let me see if I can have some. I have some values. Just want to let you see how it works. So this is our grade. It's our remark. It's our position, subject position. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So we can choose to center. That looks quite better. Let me find some exam scores and put in it. Let me find some exam scores and put in it. Okay. Let me just find some exam scores and put in it. So this is empty. This is empty. Okay. So I think my remark column should be a bit bigger. Yes, so that you can. All right. Okay. So I think we are all good. If there is any question or something, you just let me know. So that is that for the subject analysis. So I can put here in the tab, or just double click the tab and name it English. English, okay. Okay, Oben, I can see your hands up. Any question? Emmanuel, Konedu, Oben, you raised your hand. Do you want to ask any question? I'm listening. If there is any question, just let me know. Other than that, I think we are okay for today. The next time we meet, we'll look at how to log.
Hello.
This. Yeah.
I was asking if you want to create the other subject, means the first one that you have done, you copy it and then paste it there or what?
We'll look at it in the next lesson. It will not be anything different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll look at it it will be the same thing that we have done, but we'll do it. We'll just I'll show you how to duplicate it so that you don't have to be typing throughout.
Okay.
Or you don't have to be entering the formulas. The most interesting thing is that when you do for one, that is all. You just
okay.
And then rename it, and that's
all. Okay.
Okay. All right. I think apart from
I think most of them were not able to join the class. So if you can post the video on the platform for them to go through it.
No problem.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I think if you look closely, I think we are having a problem here.
Okay. Yeah, the figure there.
The figure here is more than 100.
Yeah.
I don't seem to understand why. Okay, it's because I have posted something in here that is not supposed to be here. Do you realize that?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
just going
more
to
than 50%.
Yes. It is the 50% that is there, so I'll just remove it. It's supposed to be under 100 under examination.
Yeah.
So I'll just correct that before we go. So that this place is supposed to be, supposed to be half of the examination. Oh, okay, let me see something. H3. So gene 3, half of gene 3 is 50. So this is supposed to be gene. This is supposed to be gene. Gene. So that is that. Good. So I think we are okay now. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is that. That is that. The next time we meet, we'll look at how to create the other subject, and then we create the interface as well. We create buttons for the interface.
Okay.
So we can link it to our work so that it will be user friendly.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks so much for the day.
Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.